Dear students, good morning. Today we are going to discuss about estimation of nitrogen. Already we have completed carbon, hydrogen, sulfur, halogens and phosphorus. The last element is nitrogen. Estimation of nitrogen element. There are two methods. Number one, Dumas method. Next one, Geldahl method. So both these two are scientist name. Geldahl's method. So both are important 5 more questions. So explain Dumas method of estimating nitrogen and Geldahl's method of estimating nitrogen. So first we discuss Dumas method. So experimental arrangement in Dumas method is, first we have to take organic compound. Now the organic compound is going to be heated with copper 2 oxide. Okay. So there are 3 apparatus in this Dumas method. First one, carbon dioxide generator. Next one is combustion tube. As we studied in carbon as well as hydrogen estimation, we have a combustion tube. The combustion tube is sealed at one end. So from this we are going to pass carbon dioxide. So here we have carbon dioxide generator. What is the first apparatus? Carbon dioxide generator. Next one is a lengthy hard glass tube, which is the combustion tube, right? So in this combustion tube we have copper gas. So this is copper gas. This is also copper gas. So here we have organic compound and copper 2 oxide. So this is combustion tube, glass tube. We are going to heat organic compound. The organic compound is taken with copper 2 oxide. So we need more quantity of copper 2 oxide. Almost 2/3 of combustion tube will be filled by copper 2 oxide. And this is side delivery tube. And we have a nitrometer. So this is called what? Nitrometer or nitrogen reservoir. And from this we have a side tube also. So here we have potassium hydroxide solution. Okay. So in the Dumas method, what about experimental arrangement? First we have a carbon dioxide generator. Next, combustion tube. Third one, nitrometer or nitrogen reservoir. Right. So what is the procedure? First, we have to generate carbon dioxide. For generating the carbon dioxide, we take substance magnetite or sodium bicarbonate. We take a magnesium based carbonate like magnetite or sodium bicarbonate in the carbon dioxide generator. You just heat it, carbon dioxide will be produced. So the produced carbon dioxide should be 100% pure carbon dioxide. There should not be any moisture. So during this heating of sodium bicarbonate or magnetite, carbon dioxide will be produced. If any moisture is present, it should be removed so that we pass this carbon dioxide gas in sulfuric acid. We know that sulfuric acid is a very good dehydrating agent. So when this produced carbon dioxide with the impurity is passed through the sulfuric acid, all the moisture will be absorbed by sulfuric acid. So remaining the impurity free carbon dioxide, that means pure carbon dioxide, is allowed to pass into the combustion tube. So now the heating of organic compound is taking place in the presence of carbon dioxide, so that we need a pure carbon dioxide. Now the organic compound in the combustion tube is going to be heated. Before heating this combustion tube, we have to remove the impurity present in the combustion tube. So in this glass combustion tube, there may be impurities like atmospheric air, so it has to be removed. So to remove that, we pass the carbon dioxide continuously. Carbon dioxide is coming out along with the impurities, atmospheric air. So all the gaseous molecules are coming out here. And the third apparatus is nitrometer or nitrogen reservoir. We have potassium hydroxide solution here. So when the carbon dioxide along with the impurity atmospheric air is coming out, so when they are passing through this, carbon dioxide will be dissolved here. So it forms potassium bicarbonate. So CO2 plus KOH. It forms potassium carbonate. So carbon dioxide will be dissolved here. Remaining the impurity, atmospheric air, will come out. So to remove the impurity, we should not close this reservoir or nitrometer. So when it is in opened position, all the atmospheric air will be escaped. Right? So we can observe it. So they are escaping through the gaseous bubbles. Air bubbles can be seen. So once all the air bubbles are escaped, again we seal it. So we close this reservoir. So before heating the organic substance, first we have to remove the atmospheric air in the combustion tube. Carbon dioxide is dissolved here and the impurity atmospheric air is completely escaped. So only carbon dioxide is passing from one end into the another end, and this potassium carbonate will be removed. So some amount of potassium hydroxide combines with the carbon dioxide, it forms potassium bicarbonate, so which will be removed. So once carbon dioxide is settling here, the level of potassium hydroxide solution will increase, so that we have mark. Okay. So the level will slowly increase and the potassium hydroxide will pass into the side tube also. So once potassium bicarbonate is formed, which is removed, and we just refill it using potassium hydroxide. To reduce the reservoir, we just remove to reduce the level of potassium hydroxide, we remove the potassium formed potassium bicarbonate. So the level of potassium hydroxide will reduce. So we have to top up again. Add some potassium hydroxide solution. Okay, so carbon dioxide is generated. Pure carbon dioxide is passed into the combustion tube. Impurities have removed. Now we have potassium hydroxide solution in the nitrometer. Next we are going to heat it. We are going to heat combustion tube. It contains a mixture of organic substance and the copper 2 oxide in a larger quantity. So we just heat the combustion tube and we have a copper spiral. Okay. So copper spiral will be there in the combustion tube. This is mainly used to remove the oxygen. For example, nitrogen is present in the organic compound, which will form nitrogen based oxides like nitric oxide and nitrogen dioxide. So we need only nitrogen. We don't want oxides of nitrogen. So when organic compound is heated with copper 2 oxide in the presence of carbon dioxide, nitrogen can be formed as oxides of nitrogen. So to reduce this, we use copper spiral. And why we have to use these two copper gas? Because this prevents back diffusion of the nitrogen. Nitrogen gas will be produced when we heat it. The nitrogen gas has to pass through the delivery tube. So it should not return back. So the diffusion of nitrogen backside will be prevented by this copper gas, right? So this is preventing the backside diffusion of nitrogen molecules, right? So when we heat it, carbon dioxide and nitrogen gases will come out. So if nitrogen is in the organic compound, N2 gas will come out along with the carbon dioxide. As we know, carbon dioxide will be dissolved in potassium hydroxide solution. It forms potassium bicarbonate. The level of potassium hydroxide slowly increases, so the potassium hydroxide solution will move into the side tube. But what about nitrogen? Nitrogen gas is stored at the upper part. So two gaseous molecules are coming out. One is a nitrogen, another one is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is dissolved in the potassium solution. Nitrogen cannot escape, so which is present at this position. Okay. So this is the way to obtain nitrogen in the Dumas method. Now, based on how much amount of nitrogen gas formed, we can calculate the percentage of nitrogen. So this is experimental procedure, experimental arrangement and the experimental procedure. So weight of organic compound is taken as W gram. Next, nitrogen gas is liberated in the Dumas method. Volume of nitrogen liberated is considered as V liter. So you may write it as capital L or else liter. Then what is the room temperature? Room temperature is taken as V1 as well as T1. So how much organic compound is taken in the combustion tube? W gram. How much nitrogen is liberated in the Dumas method? V1 liter. While doing this procedure, what is the room temperature? T1 in terms of Kelvin. Next, we need a pressure of dry nitrogen. So at room temperature, what is the pressure of dry nitrogen? For that, first we have to know what is atmospheric pressure. At this temperature in the laboratory, what is atmospheric pressure? Atmospheric pressure is called capital P. Okay, unit millimeter of mercury. Next, aqueous tension. For any gas, we have aqueous tension or Eigen tension. Aqueous tension is taken as P dash millimeter of mercury. So now, pressure of dry nitrogen at room temperature. Pressure of dry nitrogen is taken as P1 millimeter of mercury. So this can be calculated from the atmospheric pressure and aqueous tension. Okay. So P minus P dash is nothing but what? Pressure of dry nitrogen. Okay. So unit same millimeter of mercury. So we have obtained three factors: V1, T1 and P1. So during the Dumas method, when we heat organic compound, nitrogen gases are coming out. For the nitrogen gas, we know volume as V1 liter, temperature as T1 Kelvin, pressure as P1 millimeter of mercury. Next, consider standard conditions. At standard condition, when we measure these values, at standard temperature and pressure, we use P0, V0, T0. P1, V1, T1 are the pressure, volume and temperature of nitrogen gas at a room temperature. These are all the values at standard conditions. STP, standard temperature and pressure. So pressure of nitrogen gas, volume of nitrogen gas, standard temperature. Okay, and we know gaseous laws. So in 6th lesson we will study gaseous laws. According to that, P0 V0 divided by T0 is equal to P1 V1 divided by T1. So this is formula obtained from the gaseous laws. Right. We know all these values. Pressure, volume and temperature of dry nitrogen. Pressure as well as volume at room temperature. Okay. And this is a standard value, standard pressure and a standard temperature. But we need what is the volume. So V0 is equal to, we rearrange it, P1 V1 divided by T1. When this is moving into the right hand side, we get T0 divided by V0. Sorry, P0. Standard temperature, standard pressure. P1 V1 divided by T1. P1 V1 divided by T1 into T0, standard temperature 273 Kelvin, standard pressure 760 millimeter of mercury. Okay, so this is the way to calculate V0, volume of nitrogen gas at standard temperature and pressure. Okay, next, consider 22.4 liter nitrogen gas. We take nitrogen gas in a container. The volume is 22.4 liter. That means what about number of moles? This is 1 mole substance as you studied in 10th. 22.4 liter is nothing but 1 mole substance. 1 mole substance means molecular mass of substance. What is the weight? Molecular mass of substance. Molecular mass of N2, 28 gram. Okay. So 28 gram nitrogen. So we take nitrogen gas in a container whose volume is 22.4 liter, which is nothing but 1 mole nitrogen gas. That means how much weight? 28 gram. So 22.4 liter nitrogen contains 28 gram. Therefore, V0 liter contains what? Okay. 22.4 liter nitrogen contains how much gram of nitrogen? 28. That means V0 liter of nitrogen contains, V0 liter nitrogen contains, what is the formula? 28 divided by 22.4 into V0. Next, therefore, W gram of organic compound contains 28 divided by 22.4 into V0 divided by W. Therefore, percentage of nitrogen, we need the nitrogen value in terms of percentage. So 28 divided by 22.4 into V0 divided by W into 100. So this is a formula. So this is a 5 mark question. Explain Dumas method of estimating nitrogen. First, experimental arrangement, then experimental procedure. How to do heating of organic substance to get nitrogen gas. Next one, calculation part. Okay. So standard temperature, pressure and volume. Then at room temperature, what is the pressure, volume? Based on that, finally we have obtained this equation. So based on this formula, we may do problems. So in page number 146, we have a problem. So Dumas method and Gelder's method problems are 5 mark and important one. So in the problem they have given weight of organic compound as 0.168 gram. Weight of organic compound 0.168 gram. Then volume of nitrogen gas liberated at room temperature is 31.7 milliliter. We need the volume in terms of liter, so we convert milliliter into liter. 31.7 into 10 power minus 3 liter, and the room temperature is given as 37 degrees Celsius, 14 degrees Celsius. Room temperature 14 degrees Celsius. We need the temperature in terms of Kelvin, so 14 plus 273. Celsius is converted into Kelvin scalar, so 287 Kelvin. Next, atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure is given as 758 millimeter of mercury. Aqueous tension of P dust, aqueous tension of nitrogen, is given as 12 millimeter of mercury. Therefore, what is the pressure of nitrogen gas at room temperature? P1 is equal to P minus P dust. So 758 minus 12 millimeter of mercury, 746 millimeter of mercury. So we have obtained P1. So in the question they have given weight of organic compound, volume, temperature, and the pressure of nitrogen gas. Next, P0 value we know already. Standard pressure 760 millimeter of mercury. And what about T0? 273 Kelvin, standard temperature. We need V0. What is formula? P1 V1 divided by T1 multiplied by T0 by P0. So pressure 746 millimeter of mercury. Volume at room temperature 31.7 into 10 power minus 3, and standard temperature 273 divided by the room temperature 287 Kelvin, and the standard pressure 760 millimeter of mercury. So we have obtained volume of nitrogen gas at standard condition as 29.58 into 10 power minus 3 liter. We need the percentage of nitrogen. What is the formula? 28 divided by 22.4 into V0 divided by W into 100. So what is V0 value? To substitute that. V0 value 29.58 into 10 power minus 3 divided by weight of organic compound 0.168 multiplied by 100. So the answer is 21.90 percentage. So this is the answer. Percentage of nitrogen 21.90. So this is 5 more problem. So we have completed Dumas method. Using Dumas method, how to estimate nitrogen present in the organic compound.